Hey everybody, so yay, we're done with the boring maintenance stuff and we get to actually add a feature. And the feature is fog, which then turns out that that's two features. And that the parameters are different depending on the kind of fog you use. So that does, pose some challenges. Um, so that's that. So today is the first time I kind of did a refactor, and we'll see how it works out. I think it's gonna things are gonna make a little more sense. I think as the code base grows, what tends to happen is, like I always said, like let's say you back in the day might write one line of code, like literally, like you might have a line of code that literally just moves anything that's in this folder to that folder. It's a one liner. Like the thing you have to think about the most is like how to do it. But let's say you have like 100,000 lines of code. Well, then the thing you have to think about the most is like where to do it, and the how to do it becomes like one of the easiest parts of the whole process, because you have to really worry about things like, unintended consequences. What happened, like when you make this code a change, where is that code a change? Uh, is it just in one place? Just gets very, very complex. So the where becomes more difficult as the code base gets bigger, and how becomes more important in the smaller the code base is. It's just the reality. So I'm hoping as it grows, what you really want, I think, more than anything, is just to be able for where you code things to be discoverable. Like to have like a sort of for the developer, like for maintenance purposes, like you want to be able to be like, oh, okay, I know where to start. And then whenever I make my start change, it sort of guides me to the next places that I need to make. That's ideal. Some places just like you just have no idea. So where to go. But I always assume the first place to go in a modern Angular application would be to the interfaces if I wanted to add a new feature. So like basically what we want is to go to scenes, and basically, I guess what we're gonna need is a drop down that lets us select whether it's a. And I get, it's kind of shame because we have fog and then we have exponential fog. It's like, could it be some kind of fog? So I'm just gonna call it linear. I don't think it's technically linear. It is technically linear because it's the amount of fog, and it's the same amount. Really all you control is the boundaries, and then what you control is how thick it is. Um, and then I don't know. That's what I think this means, and that's the nice thing. And the main purpose of this early version of this application is just how do these things even work? So, anyways, it looks like in our interface, our scene interface, what we want is a fog type, right? And it seems like that could be one of three things. It could be none, or it could be a linear, or it could be an exponential. And I guess it's an exponential 2. Um, and so it probably makes sense to just create a type, right? Export type, and it's fog type, fox type, fog type. And that is these three things. I think that's how we do this. I know I have other examples if I need to refer to them. Yeah, that's right. And now we can just say that this is one of these fog types. All right. So that is the first step, I would think. And then we should see some stuff break. Um, this last thing, it just tells us where it was set up. And then this tells us, hey, this is broken. So let's just come in here and let's just give it a default fog type of none. So we have done a nothing at this point. I think it makes sense that to add a drop down in here, which I don't have any drop downs, so it's not going to be quite as easy as like adding a drop down in here. I would think. Let's see if we expand this. Yeah, see, because we already have a drop down. Whenever you add drop downs, you need with these Angular materials, you need to do imports and all kinds of crazy stuff like that. And then I get, yeah, scene is a little different because it gets set up. So normally we would be in the actual, this normally happens, it doesn't happen in the scene. Things are generally created in their component. But since there's only one scene at this time, that is like, I think in the future it'd be really neat to have like multiple scenes with multiple cameras and things like that. But at this point in time, or maybe we just want one scene with a bunch of cameras. But anyway, anyways, at this point, we have one scene and it's created whenever the scene service is created. But this is happening in the scene component. I think it's called a scene manager component. So let's come down here to our manager. Let's go in there. And so basically, like if we looked in the light manager, I'll take a look in the light manager and you look at the top at the imports, and what you'll see is like, like the matte select module, so that you could have a drop down. And then once you do that, once you have that matte select module imported, then you can use like a selection control. Yeah, you can have these matte select things, and we want something very similar to that to say, so that they can select from none or linear or exponential. So where are we on time? 7:50. So I'm going to, let's just go ahead and I don't know. I think it's kind of useful to break it. I don't know why I find that to be useful, but I do. So let's just copy this. And then see, we have a matte checkbox. So let's look in here and see what we have. Matte select. And see, that's within its own form. See, we set the form up here. So let's see what happens if in the set scene module we send the for group. I don't know. It is map form filled, so it should be okay. And then our for control. So we don't even have a control name yet. Not even, bro. Do you even have a control name yet? So over here in the, where do we set up the controls? Maybe here, form controls. And I guess this is going to be, how do I do that? I don't, oh, okay, yeah, I have one. Form control, fog type, set value, this scene. Fog type. So that is nice. That validates me a little bit. And then if this dot render, yeah, so sorry. don't really understand what I was doing here. If this dot render form controls form initialized true. So I guess somewhere down here I must use this form initialized true to update the renderer's cast shadow, which seems like, I don't know, that doesn't seem like, oh, this dot render. What is this dot? Okay, I'm definitely have gotten myself down. Okay, that's just a renderer interface. Okay. And then I misspelled that fog type. All right, so let's come back in here, and our form control name is fog type. Man, I'm using the wrong keyboard again. Now it's upset about this because it doesn't know option. So let's come over here and look. Is there an option? Let's see. Control option. Okay, so looks like it's probably, I don't know. I would have thought that would have been part of that, but maybe it's part of the form field module. Okay, so Angular. See, sometimes you can just kind of copy your own stuff and figure out what you need from Angular material, but most of the time you end up needing to go to the website and go find your whatever it is you're making and actually look at the API. So that's showing that. So I guess we'll go look at the input and view the code and look at the TypeScript. Okay, so they pull in the form module too. That form field module. Yeah, so that's probably what I need. Would be kind of nice to complain about that for a second, but I guess, I mean, I don't know what else they could have done. It's always tough to figure out how to divide things up. All right, so comma. See if that solves any problems. That does not solve. All right, so next thing is to just, maybe it was part of, that's weird. A lot of times I'll just, okay, that was the wrong thing. I wanted to search on this error. Mat option is not a known element. Control copy. Control A, Control V. Okay. This person had this problem. Mat select module, which I did bring that in, right? Oh my gosh. Silly rabbit. That's totally the wrong one. I brought in the mat checkbox, not the mat select module. I do not know how that happened, but obviously I was not paying attention. Boom. And then select. Control V. Save. Okay, yeah, now our problem is gone. Okay, so we know that the possible values are none. I believe it was linear. And I believe it's lowercase. We'll double check right after I write in X, and I believe it was exp2. All right, let's go ahead and look back at the interface real quick. I think that's right. So that is good. So let's see what we got. What do we have? Apparently we have severe emotional crisis here. Map form field must contain a map form field control. So let's see. Form field control. Let's have a map form field control. I think my son is probably calling me. I'll call him right back after this video is over. I don't know what that is. I've probably in these videos I've probably seen this 100 times. Oh, no accessor for the form control name. Oh, animated. Okay, so now I got all kinds of. Okay, so it's broken right off the bat. And I believe it is broken. Let's see, is it broken when if I do this? Oh, so that's not its problem. Okay, so I thought this was an issue. It's apparently an issue in here. Oh, okay, yeah, because I didn't create one here. Okay, fog type. Man, okay, so I haven't changed. What do I do? What do I know at this point? I don't know if I know anything. Yeah, I don't know anything because this is happening right then. So I'm just going to make it an empty string. Let's see. So yeah, that's okay. So this is our original problem. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to my initial debugging thing. Okay, so it still has a problem. Form field must have a form control. No value active for form control name cast shadows. That is weird. Did I mess up cast shadows? Okay. Here's cast shadows. All right. So let's just do this. Let's cut and run. Let's see, let's go into this view. Okay, so I'm happy. I think, okay, scene manager component, fog type, form controls, fog type, this scene. that should be good. But it's upset about cast shadows for some strange reason. And then I actually got rid of it. So I'm just going to get rid of that. I'm just going to discard it. See what happens. Same problem. All right, so now let's come in here. And discarding this should work. Let's see. All right. So it was unhappy with that. So let's just try this. Try to make a little bit of fog type. Let's say that's a new form control, and that it defaults to an empty string. Let's see, can we move around in here? Yes. Okay. Okay, so the effect says that when this, so whenever we get a form effect, we will say this dot form controls and it is fog type dot set value and that is this dot scene dot fog type. And it's happy. All right, let's just go make sure we can go over here. We can go over there. Now, next. Stay calm, stay calm. I could do this, right? I can just say this twice, right? I don't think, yeah, I couldn't care less if you have it twice. Although that is weird. It's like I have double. Yeah, that's that. Okay, that was just some weird experience we just shared. All right, so the form control name is fog type. Form text field. I don't know. We'll just see what happens. I'm curious. Fog type. And so this is truthy, so I'm assuming it'll be checked. Yeah, because it's, you know, any string is going to come back as true. So Matt, what other things could make it a Matt? Let's see, components. Yeah, so this top, wow, that was autocomplete. I really wanted just a regular text box. Yeah, form filled. So like, yeah, so we'll just say input I guess they just don't even have this closing tag. Mat input. I don't know if I can just use mat input without importing anything. So that's right. Um, so let's go back here and go to the select. Something along those lines is what we want. And so I guess we want something like this. Okay, so we already have our mat form filled. We'll just throw in our mat label. Let's see how that works out for us. Fog type. Okay, so it's upset that we did not bring in something. Probably, we'll see, import. I don't know. It's probably the mat input module. Input module. Mat input module. And then scene. Oh, it's already broken. Okay, so this is saying that a map form field must contain a map form field control. When you have not added a form field control to your form field. Okay. So let's go look at that and see what we have done here. Control name. And see, that's just not right. And what's really strange is it died when I added the label. What's really strange is it died when I brought the input module in. So literally just bringing in the input module in causes this error to come in. And so let's go look at the light manager component. Input module. Okay, so so probably whatever. Okay, so all I did was I had a mat form filled mat form that was defined up there in the markup. And that's exactly the same thing, right? So let's expand this out and split this to the right. Open copy. I always have a share open changes. Oh, am I in the, no, I'm in that. What I want to do is I wanted to make this show up in the right pane, right side. Open to side. There we go. And then I want to go back to this guy here. Did not want to do that. Okay. Let me close that over here. I want to close this one. So now I want to be in my scene manager over here. And all I did was import and I want to be in the HTML. All I did was import that. And so I have a table. Gosh. Okay, so I have this form group. Input form control name fog. So it's very similar. Um, I don't know what the problem is here. Map form filled. So map form filled must contain a map form filled control. And so if we look over here at this map form filled, or do we not have a map form filled? Oh yeah, there we go. Form filled. It has a form group in it, which is exactly what I have as a form group. And I don't even think, okay, so what if I get rid of this? I'm curious. Does that make the error go away? No, it does not. We're still all errored out. It compiles just fine. What if I close it and restart the compiler? Will the compiler catch what the problem is? So if I get rid of this, so all of this happens. So okay, so I can have absolutely no new markup at all, and I still have the problem. And then if I come in here, let's just close this side now. Go back to this view. And if I come in here and I just don't pull this mat module in, all my problems go away. And if I pull in my mat select module, what happens? Oops. Okay, so literally just pulling the mat select module causes problems. And it causes this exact same problem. And we don't even have any changes in the markup. All I literally did was import the mat select module. But the mat checkbox module does not seem to cause this problem. Select module. That is so wild. It is just crazy to me that the mat checkbox module doesn't cause the same problem. And it doesn't, I don't think it's a markup issue, right? Because, like, what if I just deleted everything? Change this to hello world. Oh, it does not care. Then it's happy. But it's not happy with me using this map form filled. So if I get rid of this guy, and if I get rid of this guy, it's happy. But if I put those back, it's broken. So it does not like this map form filled being in here, and I don't think it cares about the checkbox. Yeah, so it just doesn't like the map form filled being in there. So now let's go look at some of this markup over here. So map form filled. So in this, the map form filled does not get the doesn't get a form control. Doesn't get a form or anything. So what happens if I get rid of these two? Yeah, it's still broken. Just having the map form filled, like this is literally just having the map form filled in here throws this error. And just literally all I have to do is get rid of this import. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so, but then this guy will give him access to that. Now it's very upset about something else. Seen, okay, what is there? So same map form field is not a known. Not a known thing. And so we do have, and this is, obviously this is a problem, but, oh, yeah, so there is a form filled module. So let's go ahead and bring that in. Yeah, so we have that problem. Now we don't have the problem. It does it compiles, but it just doesn't like this map form filled. And it gives us the error that it must have a map form filled control. Okay, so what is a map? Okay, this occurs when you have not added a form filled control to your form filled. Okay. You forgot to add. Okay, I was having this similar. I imported the map form filled module to my main module, but I forgot to add map form filled map input module to the imports array. So is that, what is that? What does that mean, Matt? Okay, so he's saying that I also need to have this input module. Try it out. Okay. See, nope, same problem. I did not solve the issue. Okay, problem number one, mat input module was not imported. Okay, so my mat input module is in fact imported. Problem number two, mat input spelling mistake. So mat form filled. I mean, could it really be this? No. But is it upset about this? Oh, that does look like that was the problem. All right. So let's go all the way back in the beginning. I believe this was our beginning state. Pre-fog. Okay, so it seems to be a well. Do I still have checkbox imported? Yeah, I do. So, is it mad that? Let's see. About that. Let's see. Oh my gosh, that seemed to have fixed it. I don't know what we're even going to get over there now, though. Oh, that is very interesting. So now we have these. Yeah, because we have a text box that's got this thing in it. So it's upset that there is no mat input. So I wonder if, oh, maybe I need to put a mat input in here. Put no whammies. Let's see. Well, no, we're back to being broken again. Okay, so now let's see how their HTML is. So they have mat form filled, but they don't have a form, but they give it a form control, which I give it a form control name, which is technically the same thing. And then the mat options, and they do not do any of this other stuff. And they don't select. Okay, so let's go to the checkbox, because check a box. Checkboxes. Okay, so let's see these. Okay, so section, mat checkbox, check me. Mat checkbox checked, task completed. So they don't really do form stuff over here in this checkbox thing. Map form. So I had my color picker. This doesn't care because that doesn't. This gets very upset that I'm using the map form filled, but I don't have a mat input type equals text in there. It's weird. It's really, really strange to me. I'm just going to do this just to be a weirdo. And we did. All right, so if I get rid of this, we're good again, right? But we have this weird text box in here. And I don't want a text box in there. And then it seems like what it's upset about is this directive isn't being called, this mat input directive. What if I get rid of this? I don't think it'll care, right? Yeah, it's happy. And then yeah, because I wouldn't expect it to break anything, but then this breaks it. if I just make this a div? I have no idea. This is literally just a stab in the dark. Now it's happy. I'm assuming it's happy. No. Oh. Let's get rid of that guy. Yeah, I guess that's the main thing is we want to see. Yeah, I thought that was the thing that was animated was the colors. So that is completely broken now. Let's see if it gets fixed if I go back to my original. Here, let's just go over here and we'll go to the scene manager and we will bail on this stuff. Discard changes. Manager. Bail. Is that right? Yeah. Discard changes. Maybe scene's broken altogether. Okay, what's up here? Oh, I have this open. All right. Animated. Oh man, I think that's broken now. That used to work. You used to be able to animate the scene. And I don't know if that's something that broke after this refactor. I doubt it, but it's possible. I don't see anything broken in there. Yeah, I just don't even know what to do now. Okay, so I guess there's just no way that this is the problem and that this is the problem. But I guess it makes sense to kind of regroup, fix the bug, and then circle back around and try to do this. Because if I remember correctly, we could do this and we could say animated, and let's go to the animation, and we could go to, was it regroup? Yeah, and so it would start at 255 and now it's just sitting at 1. It's not animating properly. Other things animate, right? Let's see. Let's just make sure animation in general isn't broken. Yeah, yesterday we were looking at this animation because I remember we were kind of almost exactly like this, and it was like it's coming right at us. Animation, yeah. So, but the animation of the scene is not working, and I don't know if, like I said, I'm not sure if this is something that broke when we were trying to, as part of this refactor or not. But I think this is a good place to, like, it's good to kind of go off of the last task of trying to add fog and figure out what this new thing is. And then once that's done, try to figure out what in the world is going on with why I can't use the Angular material stuff in the scene like I can. I'm wondering if camera has Angular material. Yeah, see, I must. Yeah, it'd be interesting to look over at the camera manager, HTML, and see. I don't think we want the ortho. We want the perspective. See, this is very, very similar. And does it import? I wonder if it imports. The form filled, the mat input module. And see, like literally just importing, just having the form, the mat input module was breaking things, right? Let me just double check that real quick. Mat, or yeah, it was the mat form filled module. If I just pull that into the scene manager, scene component, yeah, see it breaks. Just literally just importing the mat form filled module breaks this page. But I don't think that's at all related to the fact that the animations in the scene isn't working anymore. So I think that is the next thing to fix, and then try to figure out, okay, what can I do about this map form? We did see that bringing in the camera, like all I did was bring in the before all I did was bring in a text box and it worked perfectly fine. The camera has a checkbox down here. Let's see if we did something weird with that. See the mat checkbox. I don't think there was anything weird about that. Form group was form. I mean, this is almost identical to what we had with the mat checkbox and form control now. Yeah, I believe, yeah, we used form control name in the scene manager as well. Stop it. I don't know. Okay. Overwrite. Yeah, this is pretty much identical. I think there's a label or something different. Let's see, let's look over here. Yeah, there's a mat label. And if I remember correctly, it does not like the mat label over there in the scene manager. Is the mat label? It's right on the other side of the checkbox. And is it in a mat form filled? That's another good question. Oh, it is not. It's in a div. Interesting. Okay, so those need to be in divs, probably. These probably need to be in divs if it's going to be in there. And then this input, it was okay for this input to be on that. And then I don't know, I don't think camera has a drop down of any kind. So let's go look for some, like the light. It has a drop down. As you can see, once I get fixated on something, I have a hard time getting off of it. So this is a mat form filled, but then it has a label, and then yeah, and for some reason this one it's happy with this one, but it wasn't with the other one. But I do know right off the top that these, I guess, cannot be I guess these need to be divs if I'm going to import. Like this needs to be a div. And then that point, I can then import that form filled module. Yeah, and it's perfectly happy. There's no breakages. I think I'll leave that like that because I don't want to have to rediscover that whole thing in a couple of days after we fix the animating of the background colors. And then, yeah, and then I guess we'll just try to get that drop down working. Copy, basically take like this whole. Let's see, it was in the light. Just like copy this whole darn thing. Yeah, we'll just, let me see, scene manager. Okay, so then we know this form group is form over here. And then we want to say choose, I'll just say fog. For control name, we'll call that fog, and I'll just add one real quick. Oh my gosh. And then value. Go back. Just try this one more time real quick. And I think all I care about is that one. Okay, so I guess we have something that, what do we not have in here? Okay, so we don't have the mat select. So now let's go over to our mesh, to our light manager. And basically we want the mat select module. And we'll just grab that. And we will move that down. Save it. And fought. It's incredible how often I misspell that fog as fought. Fog. And then what we had, linear. And we had exp2. And now there's no way I can let this go. And then let's go over here to our interface, our scene interface, and add fog, and that was linear or none or exp2. And then in here, fog colon none. Let me see. Oh, I think it's a recruiter. Let's see. Fog none. Okay, so it's not showing the right thing. And that's because I added this. fog new form control, boom, and then it's interesting. I have these animated, and then formed out controls, and then fog, and that is dot set value. Dot fog semicolon. Let's come over here. None. Okay, so that's good. I probably have to do something down here in here to set it, to actually set it. And probably all I need to do, I think, is this dot scene fog is equal to this dot form dot value dot fog. And then that should solve that problem, and that'll update the scene, and it'll know whether it's supposed to have fog or not, but it won't have any of the additional information, which is a bit problematic. I do want to fix that animation issue before I go any farther down this. I truly don't understand what was going on here. You know, 9 times out of 10, you're way better off sort of doing things in small pieces and just sort of edging forward. But in this case, like, the nothing works unless it all works, apparently. So you need to get like the select and the options and everything all configured properly, or you'll see that weird error. So anyways, this thing must be an hour long. Sorry about that, everybody. Happy coding. Bye.